launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial Spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed, 3, 2, 1, fire. Missile away.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Celestis mission update. My name is Mark, and I'm one of the ambassadors for Celestis Memorial Space Flights. Just to give everyone a little bit of the ground rules before we go ahead and bring the big boss up. We do this occasionally when we have information to share with the public, or shall I say the attendees and the public. If there are any questions, you can actually go into our chat room and you can actually ask questions that Charlie will be fielding and answering. And that way you can interact with us as well as watch the broadcast here. If there are any technical difficulties, which I won't jinx it at all, don't worry, we'll pop back on. We will reestablish ourselves, but I don't really suspect there'll be any problems at this moment. We also have our crew with Celestis who's watching the broadcast and providing answers as well, answers that Charlie might not be able to get to right away. You may actually see pop up in the chat box that you're attending. So we have another very, very important mission update for everyone. So if you haven't notified your family and friends to watch the broadcast, you might want to. But if in case they cannot watch this live, you will be able to see this broadcast again. It will be on the Celestis Facebook page and on our Celestis YouTube channel. And you can watch and share at a later time if you can't join us right now live. So without any further ado, this gentleman has been an incredible mentor to all of us working with Celestis. And I'd like to go ahead and bring him up. And without any further ado, this is Mr. Charles Chafer. Charles, how are you, sir?
Hey, Mark. I'm doing okay, thanks. Happy New Year. And
Happy New Year.
We enter the 32nd year of Celestis providing memorial services here in 2026. So, yeah. How about that?
That's amazing. Yeah, time. How many missions are we up to right now?
We have accomplished 24. We have, as I'll talk about in just a minute, we have 5 more in the queue, and the pace is rapidly picking up. So it looks like the word is getting out just how meaningful a memorial service associated with a space flight can be. We're happy about that, and got some exciting stuff going on, including, we call tonight Mars Beckons, and that's because our guests and myself are going to focus on that Mars 300 mission that we announced a few months ago. But I think before we do that, I want to do a update on our entire manifest. I know a lot of people watch this for the express purpose of finding out whatever the latest information on a mission that they're involved with is. So I'm going to go through that to start with. And the first one on deck is really coming up fast. It's our Serenity orbital mission, which will fly on an above space spacecraft on board a Falcon 9 rocket. And the window for that mission opens March 31. So what does that mean? That means that it could fly March 31, but there also is a period of time where it's approved on the range and among all the other folks that have to approve spaceflight. So we're looking at basically a 90-day period during that second quarter of this year that will fly Serenity. For those of you, and we keep stretching our capacity on it because we have a lot of people that want to go on it. There are over 300 flight capsules on that mission. And so, as usual, we'll conduct a 3-day launch event in beautiful Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral, Florida, around that time period. And if you are on that mission, you'll start hearing from us more routinely as we get near to talk about what those launch related events are and how you can participate in those. Again, always the first source for any launch date is our website, celestis.com. Just go to scheduled missions and click on your favorite mission. And that will be the most current information that we have and is publicly releasable. I have to always talk about non-disclosure agreements and launch providers. So whatever we're allowed to say, we say. So that's the most imminent mission. We have a second mission scheduled for 2026, which will be a pretty amazing flight. It will be our second Voyager service, our deep space mission. This will follow a similar trajectory as did our first Voyager mission, which flew in 2024. This mission is called Infinite, and the details are there on the Infinite flight page, but it will be a Florida launch as well. Currently scheduled for Q4 of 2026, with the caveat that really, when you see fire come out of a rocket, that's when you absolutely know what the launch date is. Up to that period, the dates can and do, I was going to say fluctuate. They don't really fluctuate so much as they just move. I was looking up earlier today the Artemis flight, which is really cool if you haven't seen it in the media, sitting there on the launch pad. And they say it may go February 6th. It may go in June also, because it is the first flight of a booster with human beings on board. So they tend to be very careful. But from a launch schedule point of view, when Artemis was first announced, it was 2016 as the launch for the first Artemis. And the first Artemis actually flew in 2022, and they were happy with that. So again, I don't expect any of our missions other than, well, and I'll get to that, but all of our missions are on proven spacecraft. And as a result of that, we have a lot more fidelity in scheduling. But so that's the two for 2026. Early 2027 will be, late 2026, or now I believe early 2027 will be our third lunar mission, Destiny. And for those of you on Destiny, we are finishing up discussions that will permit me to provide additional information. What I can tell you is that I think we're likely to slip into Q1 2027 for Destiny. Then comes Lumina, which is our next Earthrise service. That is the follow-on service for the Perseverance flight, which was not successful, one of our few, but real missions that didn't succeed. and Lumina will fly. Right now, it's looking like March of 2027. That too is likely going to be a Vandenberg flight. We'll have more the next time that we talk about that. And that's really the full plate of our missions. We have other missions that we're showing because we're in the process of finalizing them. But it's a pretty full manifest for us. I think we'll be pretty busy in the next couple years, and I like that. Okay, one more thing with your agreement, which is to introduce tonight's topic, which is Mars Beckons. So a few months ago now, we announced the availability for reservations for our Mars 300 mission. And that mission will fly as cargo to the red planet. We are not saying when that mission will occur. As a marker point, last August, the Italian Space Agency signed cargo contracts with SpaceX for Starship missions to the surface of Mars, sort of opening up, if you will, the commercial market for cargo to Mars. That mission, I think, is scheduled for, it might be 2030, it might be a little earlier than that. But that is sort of going to be the driver for when we do Mars 300. So what we did with Mars 300 is like we analogized to our Enterprise flight, which was announced by me in 1997 with Major Barrett Roddenberry as a mission that we would fly the two of them together on when it was her time. She passed away, and we were able to fly that mission in 2024. And that's sort of an analogy, if you will, for the Mars mission. For our Mars missions, I'll say if you're interested in them, you can just go to our website and hit a contact form and we'll get right back with you. But the way we've tried to structure it is to put 90% of any funds that you're committing to the mission in a trust account that you own. And therefore you can withdraw the money whenever you want. It's really more of a design to create a safe queue for the folks that want to be sure that they're on the first flight. And we already have people signing up, and you'll meet one in a moment. And it's I think it's kind of in many ways, the most ambitious mission that we've ever done, but we're kind of all about ambitious missions here at Celestis. So with that, Mark, I will take a pause, and if you'd like, I'll introduce our guests. Let's see, Mark, are you there, Mark? Let's see, Mark.
I'm here, Charlie.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry about that.
No worries. I just wanted to be sure you were. Now, anything you want to say about our forthcoming missions?
Well, I'm excited about all of the missions, as you know, that come up. But the most incredible revelation that you've given us from the last mission update, which is really important to watch all of our mission updates because we get surprises ourselves as a team here, is the Mars mission.
Yeah. And
if any more information, as you can see at the banner at the bottom of the screen, is there any questions anyone may have, we'll try our best to answer them here, but don't think that any of your questions will go unanswered. So this is probably a good time to start filling up the chat room with any questions you may have, as well as for our guests that we're having appearing tonight. If you have questions for them after listening to them for a while, you can go ahead and put those up, and we'll go ahead and field those as quickly as we can. Let me ask you, Charlie, for all of the flights that you've attended, from Vandenberg to New Mexico to, I don't know if anyone's watching realize how many sites that we actually launch missions from, and the Cape. What's your favorite, may I ask? What has been probably your most fulfilling location in various forms of, what lights you may have of it that you've attended?
I'm going to give you two answers.
Okay.
The first is, without doubt, the Canary Islands, where we launched our original founders flight from. It's described as Europe's Hawaii, and it's just an amazing location. And we were actually on a L-1011 Pegasus mission that flew out of the Spanish Air Force Base on Gran Canaria. And just to visit everything around it, it being the first mission with Timothy Leary and Gene Roddenberry aboard, that was my favorite. That's going to be hard.
Wow.
In terms of launch sites, you really can't beat Cape Canaveral. It's it's where the space program began, and we have flown missions off of Pad 39A, which was the one that Apollo 11 flew from. And the infrastructure, it's a very spacey community, but also the beach, Beckons.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's a great place. But I got to put in a word. Having said all that, I got to put in a word for Vandenberg, which is in wine country in Central California. Just beautiful country, and just amazing vineyards, and so it's great. And there's lowly Spaceport America down in southern New Mexico. Which,
lowly?
Well, it's Sir Richard and the governor of New Mexico plopped $250 million down in the New Mexico desert, and there it is. And it's really cool in the sense that, in the desert that was on the path called the Journey of Death is this 22nd century spaceport, which is, I guess I like to say I like all of them. Each of them is unique, and each of them is meaningful for the family members that attend with us. All right, I've rattled on. I want to get to our guest.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let's bring Leonard up first, and my friend Leonard David, who I've won't tell you how long he's been a friend, is the guy that I would turn to fact or factoid as it relates to Mars. He was author of a National Geographic book that was part of a television series. On Mars, he co-authored a mission to Mars with Buzz Aldrin. But he's a space journalist, and he's won a boatload of awards. He told me not to embarrass him, so I won't read them all. But we're really happy to have Leonard here, and we're going to ask him about Mars some. So, Leonard, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this. As I get older and Mars gets more in my focus, because like you intimated, we're going to the moon, but if you listen to the Artemis crowd, the new NASA administrator, and the Artemis 2 crew, we're going to the moon and Mars. And it's I wish I was 13 again. Believe me. I see a really resurgence of excitement, I don't know where Artemis 2 will go. I hope it gets off the ground, but man, it is. The NASA administrator the other day had a great comment. The new NASA administrator, he's brand new and he's flown twice in space. And he said, Artemis 100. And boy, that hit me. We're on a roll. And let me just break away for a second. I went to my bookcase back here and I went and found Mars and Its Canals by Percival Lowell.
Wow.
I got this way back, and I tell you, when I read this is one of the books that I read as a young person that really got me going. And this is a pretty much original copy of what he wrote. And you know, we're at a point in our future because it's so hard to get away from the past. We're on some wavelength here that we don't appreciate much because we're all tied up and all the, you know, can I pay the mortgage? Can I get the gas bill paid? Can I get this? You know, it's all the same. But, you know, I think, you know, when I look at the Celestis concept, you know, personal contact with Mars, that is the key. And that's what Elon Musk is doing right now. He's trying to make it more in your face, Mars, and we're going to go. I don't think there's any doubt that Mars is a place that we're going to be visiting. And I've written about this for so long. On one side, don't count on me. On the other side, count on me. Because I think, in my experience with space journalism, it's the Imagineering here is really palpable. It makes people move. It makes people move to the moon. It makes people move to Mars. It makes people move beyond. And that is what's happening. And it's a slow process. And I don't know about Gen X, Y, Z. I don't care. All I know is humanity is going forward. And this is an exciting time to get reactivated with the Artemis program. And we'll see. There's a lot of issues with Artemis. You know, I'm trying to be my reporter, pundit kind of guy. You know, money is involved, NASA leadership. What does the Trump administration say? Where are we going? You know, I've been here so many times in my life, and all I know is forward momentum. We're on some kind of roll here, and it's going to be a really interesting few months of getting the Artemis program off the ground and getting astronauts around the moon. We've already landed on the moon. I'm going back. I've lived this thing. 53 years ago, Apollo 17 was the last mission to the moon. 53 years ago. You got to be kidding. Those people thought we were going to have a long-term lunar exploration program with bases and all that. And here we are. What are we going to do? Where are we going? What about the space race? Well, we have a new one. China is really moving forward really quickly. And it is a political, diplomatic conundrum that I think America has right now. among all the conundrums that we have. We're so busy trying to get Greenland and all these other places, but let's get the
So
moon. Go ahead, Charlie.
I got a couple of questions for you. One, I'm just interested did Viking find life on Mars?
Well, okay. Oh God, we got a retro
Well, but
grade here.
I understand there are people that are saying we need to take a relook at the 70s data.
No, we need to take a relook at the Viking lander results. We're much smarter now about the data that came out of Viking, and the Viking thing kind of gave us a pretty good template of how not to do the search for life, but also gave us some really interesting tidbits of something that is, kind of it's omnipresent. It's still alive. Viking results are still alive about what it found, and the life on Mars situation is alive and well.
So
believe me.
Let's talk a little bit about Elon's vision for thousands of people living and working on Mars.
Yeah.
What do you see as the greatest barrier? I'm going to assume Starship gets to where it works because they know what they're doing. I'm not talking schedules here. I'm just talking, is it doable to build Starship? Probably. Are people going to freak out over planetary protection issues? And how do those get rid? What do you see as, let's say, other than transportation, the biggest barrier? And it can be ecological, it can be regulatory. What is it? What's going to work to stop us?
You said the two words that I'm always interested: assume and schedule.
Right.
Elon Musk. I don't know. I love the guy. I hope he succeeds. I hope his ambitions are true and straight. And he's got right now a major development going on with Starship, like you mentioned. And that has got to fly, and not fly once or twice or three or four. It's got to fly a lot to get
hundreds.
We're talking some significant thing, but I'm so happy that he's doing it.
Right.
I don't have any problem with it. I like Jeff Bezos. I like Jeff Bezos with his capability at the moon. He's got a lander that he's working on for a moon lander, and we'll see where Jeff Bezos go. But and Charlie, better than anybody on the planet how tough this entrepreneurial space quest is. I mean, my God, you went through. I'm glad you're still sitting. It's a tough hole.
Oh yeah.
We know we've gone through this. We've gone through decades of entrepreneurial space quests. We have a bunch of new entrepreneurial companies that are coming on. I have no idea whether 1 to 5 or 10 or nobody will make it.
Right.
And it's tough. This is really exciting.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
for a reporter.
You're the objective friend who just reports. What's the interplay? And I got to get to Rick here soon, but what's the interplay of quote unquote commercial or private missions and government missions? It seems like there's a flotilla of government, not human missions, but just stuff going to Mars. Is that a pretty robust field still?
Well, the government and Mars, I mean, everybody, the National Academy of Science the other day, like a week ago or so, or maybe a little longer, put out a report about humans on Mars. They're doing studies. People are doing studies. moving from the studies to the real flights and getting experience on Mars is coming.
Right.
We're going to get there. And I think it's exciting for me as a reporter. Again, I got to be quote unquote objective, but I'm a kid that grew up forward thinking that this is all going to come to be before I drop over dead.
That was my next question. Are you and I going to see it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's move it forward. And
Well,
I think
but
so
we're both
lessons
living. We're both living in that mountain air in the West these days. So that's
Yeah,
gotta count for something.
again, I'm at 9,000 feet, so the air's thin.
Leonard, stay with us. We'll have some. more
Okay.
questions, but I want to introduce our other guest today, and if you can bring him up, Mark. We will say hi to Rick Coleman. Rick, what can I say? You have your choices to honor your son with our services really move us. The commitment that you've made to honor his life. I want you to talk about that a little bit. For those of you that, and do we have that slide up? Are we able to put that up? I can't see it if we have. Andrea, are you, there we go. So Andrew, and I want Rick to talk about Andrew, but has been honored to date on 3 Celestis missions. And recently, Rick chose to make him the first participant on our Mars mission. And so I guess, Rick, tell us a little bit about Andrew. He's such a special, I want to say kid. He was a young adult and just an amazingly accomplished young man. Can you tell us a little bit about Andrew's story?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Charlie, it's great to be with you again and the whole Celestis family. And thanks for having me on. And, it's interesting. You see those pictures and, there's emotions that come back pretty quick. Andrew was a treasure. Andrew was smarter than I'll ever be and probably smarter than a lot of us put together. And Andrew, at an early age, had an affinity for everything in space and was gravitating more towards it throughout his young adult age and came to us one day. And I just remember it was during COVID and we were trying to pick colleges. And we said, hey, we got to really start talking about where you want to go to school. And he says, are you kidding me? I've already been accepted. And we're like, what are you talking about? and he'd went and applied to Texas A&M and was accepted into, their School of Engineering. And at the end of his first year was accepted into the aerospace program. And so, in fact, the first rocket that we got to experience with you was down in Florida. And I think it was January 8th of 24 on a pretty cold night in Florida. And that was a rocket that he and I had been studying for a long time. And we planned on going to that rocket launch as, father and son above Earth, not, with one of them in ashes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so, look, if I can just real quick, and Andrew meant everything. And we've never wanted to fully have to say goodbye to Andrew. And I think we struggled when Andrew passed away, how we would find the right way to honor Andrew. And our daughter was sitting in a room, we were in complete shock and awe. It had only been 24 hours. And she says, well, how about this? What if we send his ashes to space and had found your website? And it really helped us get through a really difficult time, for any families, whether it's a new deceased or family member, or one that's been deceased for many years. I can say a couple things. One is being at the 3-day rocket launch, now that we've done 3 of them, I can't think of anything more meaningful or emotional, and the connection you make with all the other families that are there is it'll last forever. And the connection that we've been able to make, Charlie, with you and Faith and Andrea and the entire team, I can't thank you guys enough. And so when the option for Mars came out, I was hoping we could be number one, because there's just you cannot explain to anyone until they go and live through one of these rocket experiences what it's like.
That's so true. We try to put words around it and even try to show videos, but I've always known, and I've done all 24 of them, that it's just a completely different feeling when you're looking at a rocket that you have a personal connection to, you have a tie to, you have a reason to care about. And the emotional release of liftoff is, what I always say is you never see as much cheering and high-fiving at other funeral or memorial services as you see at ours.
No, it's true. And that January night in Florida, there was it roared.
Right.
The roar of the crowd was just something else. And, and then you and I recently for Perseverance, it delayed 2 days, and it gave us more time for reflection. It let us get to know the other families more. I got to know the Celestis family more. We spent some time together and got to hear about all the other launches over time. And anyone even thinking about it, feel free to email me anytime. I can't begin to tell you what it really means to go through one of those launches. And in whatever one you pick, his ashes are on something that's currently orbiting Earth, and we can go look at it anytime. He's also has ashes that are out in deep space and going on and on and on. And we're going to make on your next lunar launch also, and then Mars. It never has to end. And that's one thing that's really important to us.
That's worth thinking about. It's well said. And it is a way to stay connected in many ways. You're at an event with your loved one's presence and living it. You mentioned this, but one of the things that I think is cool about our missions is that family members get to know each other. And, we have 200 to 300, up to 600 guests coming from around the world. Nobody knows each other at that registration desk on day one. They're all there with their grief, with their expectations, with their questions. What did I get into here? And one of the most fun things is just watching the connection that people who are sharing this event make with each other. Talk a little bit about that and your experience.
Charlie, we're from a very small, close, quiet family, and so we've been through these 3 times in a different way than I've seen many families. But I've watched what I really admire is that these extended families show up at these rocket launches, and they're all dressed together in some kind of fashion that is a memorial to their loved one. Mm-hmm. And you can see that they're reconnecting. Sometimes it's the first time they've seen each other in quite a time. And like you said, there aren't many times that you get to honor a family member with high fives and hugs and cheering. It's kind of like the Irish wake of all Irish wakes in a different way, right? And so it is. I cannot articulate it enough that, and we've seen it from both California and from Florida. I think they're both beautiful for different reasons. We were lucky enough to see one of the California launches is where the first stage came back and landed, close to where it took off. Yep. It's memories to remember. And then, the one that he's on a satellite right now on a Troop F2 or whatever it is, I think. And, I have the program where I can bring it up on my phone anytime. And every so often we'll come across somebody who didn't know Andrew had died. And I'll say, but great, guess what? Here's where Andrew is right now. And I can pull up the app. I show it on my phone, and what was a very hard, raw time for us. I know this helped us get through it much better than we would have without it. So thank you. Always thank you.
Yeah, well, it's our great pleasure, and it goes without saying that without folks like you, we wouldn't be able to offer this service. But I was thinking about it today. Some of the things that we've done and some of the things that we're planning to do are just unique in the history of spaceflight. And, very proud of that heritage that stretches back as long as it does. We've got a few questions piling up here from the comments, so this would be a good time to dive into them. I noticed that a few of them are pretty technical, so they're going to get a I don't know answer. But been a couple of questions about alternative propulsion to Mars and detonation wave, pulse. It's a technology that's been around forever. It's always had advocates for basically you blow. Somebody's going to jump on me and tell me how wrong I am, but it's often a nuclear bomb. You're up in space already, but you literally detonate something with great power, and then you ride the wave associated with that detonation wave. Everybody's talked about it, nobody's done it, and and I think solar electric propulsion and other sorts of advanced propulsion devices will only make the journey quicker. And humans being humans, they're always going to look for the quickest way to get there. So I think there's so many things that a mission to Mars will challenge. I think later mentioning farming and hydroponics, one of the comments. There's so much that has to be developed, but if you have a purpose, and I think that's the genius of Apollo and it's the genius of Elon, of setting out something that people can point to. A lot of the stuff's going to get developed. The good stuff's going to be used. The not so good stuff will be, well, that was a great theory that didn't happen. So there will be a lot of technical propulsion, in situ mining and manufacturing, just so much that's going to happen in a very short time if we're going to have humans on Mars in Leonard and I's time frame. Another question or comment here about from Jenny about looking at Mars, but I've chosen the moon. It's big in the sky, and my grandson can say hi, Nana. That is a motivation. We have Dr. Eugene Shoemaker already on the moon, and his widow, who has also passed, but at the time said she enjoyed walking out on a full lit moon night and looking up and knowing her husband, the very famous NASA astrogeologist, he taught the astronauts what rocks to look for, the Apollo astronauts, and also co-discoverer of Comet Shoemaker-Levy. NASA asked us to make him the first person, quote unquote, buried on the moon, which we did. And that gave a lot of comfort to Dr. Shoemaker's wife. All right, so I am now ready to head back to, let's see if I've got other, Tony McCoy, thank you. It's good to see you. All right, let me try to summarize with Leonard first and with Rick second. So if I can have Leonard back on stage. Nope, wrong Leonard. There we go. Okay, Leonard, it's gut check time.
Okay.
when will the first human being set foot on the red planet?
After I'm gone.
That's not fair. I need a
Yeah.
date.
I don't know. I hope 2030 is the going in date. I think it's doable. I think we got a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I think there's some really, I'm going back to what you said, or Rich said, the wake of a rocket. The wake of a rocket is inspirational.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm being a writer here,
Yeah.
but I like that word. The wake of a rocket is really inspirational in the sense of getting to Mars, getting to the moon, and beyond. And we're on some kind of pathway here that I really don't think we all can comprehend, and I'm one of them that can't comprehend. We could have failure, we could have success, loss of life on the Artemis 2. They could come back and burn up in the atmosphere. I don't know what's going to happen, but all I know from my 55 some years of reporting on space is that there is achievements to accomplish, there are failures to overcome, there are we are on some kind of pathway as humanity to be in the solar system and beyond. I don't see why that doesn't happen, and there'll be a lot of negative people. You leave them behind. You just go forward. You just go out, and oh yeah, there'll be the people going, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, but they weren't there when you were trying to get the money for the Congress.
So Mars has been sort of the signal for Earth culture of outer space,
Yeah.
dating back forever. And as I look at it, I'm wondering why. I know the canals. I know.
Here's my book.
But
Percival Lowell.
But to what extent? I mean, why not? Why are we focused on Mars? I guess because Elon wants to focus on Mars. Why not? Hey, we're going to build Jerry O'Neill colonies in orbit and beam solar energy down to Earth.
That's what's so much fun. It's all of it. That is, I'm not picking any one of them. They're
Okay.
all doable.
Yeah.
They're all doable. We're at a new microelectronics phase, solar power satellite. Yeah, we can do that. Moon, Mars. Okay. After a while, maybe we need to the ho-hum space program.
Right.
The ho-hum space program is we do it all and we keep moving forward because and one of the really, I don't want to belabor my time here, but I think we're in close contact with the first civilizations that we are not alone. We are debating right now, how crowded is it?
Right.
That's the point. That's what's so exciting. There are things going on. Even tomorrow, there's going to be a National Press Club meeting on some pretty bizarre findings of, potential alien contact, whatever. I'm up for it all. We are really on a cusp of something mind shifting and sociologically shifting, and I'm not even sure we're prepared for it, to be honest with you.
Well, that's, did you, yes, I agree with you. But I'm wondering, how's the public going to deal with I think it is inevitable that we discover that we're not alone. I mean, what a cosmic joke it would be if we were.
Yeah.
But we're kind of don't have our. Here comes a Charlie political statement, folks. You can turn it down if you want, but I don't think Earth has got its act very well together these days.
We never do.
Well, that's probably true. It seems maybe it's just I'm getting older, but it seems a lot scarier to me these days than it has been. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering about, and I know there have been CIA studies and open source study. What is humanity going to do when we really know, oh gosh, we're not by ourselves anymore? Maybe we'll talk about that on our next live cast.
I think you should, because it's too deep.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
it's we're in shallow waters when it's so deep thinking. I'm telling you, man, there is something coming, and I think we're going to be in a roll here. It's going to be very exciting to some of us. Some of us are going to be really worried.
Yeah.
I'm worried, but I think there's something coming that we is coming out. It's out of the blue, but it's out of the black.
Right.
From space, and it's going to be very impressive.
Okay. All right, Rick. I want to put you on the spot here for a moment and ask, would you like to send your DNA to Mars?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to announce the prize for the very first participant is that we will agree to fly your DNA along with Andrew on our Mars mission, and we'll just make that happen for you.
That was an honor. Thank you. That is an honor. Thank you so much. And the last 8 minutes has been riveting.
Yeah. You mean that first 10 minutes when I was babbling was?
No, I mean, but you guys are 100% right. I mean, we're barely hanging on to what we're dealing with on this rock right now, right? And we are about to find out so much more. And it's going to be a course correction for everything.
Yeah, that's a good statement. I like it.
And I look forward to the ride. I really do. And it should be good. It should be good cinema. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to, well, as you know, it's good experience also to, and Mark knows this also. Mark's been at many of our launches, and it's just, that's what we do here. Is we help people celebrate in a very meaningful fashion, something that they have longed for, dreamed of. We're just in the dream fulfillment business here, as much as anything. And for some people, it's associated with a loved one. For some people, it's, I want to go now. Here's my DNA. Sign me up and send me. And it's just great that we're in an age where we can do that. Leonard has been around long enough to remember when I used to go around to every rocket maker in the country and not beg them to take my money and fly me, and get turned down by the best of them. The paradigm shift, which in many ways we helped to start back in 1982 when we launched the first privately funded rocket into space. That paradigm shift enabled much of what you see today. Now, it's not all good, but it's what Leonard said of, God, there's, let 1,000 space companies bloom. And that's what's happening right now. And absolutely not all of them will make it. And some of them will not make it in very spectacular ways. And
Yeah.
but for those that do, we have been at ground zero, and we've been part of out of whole cloth going from, only NASA operates in space, and that's it. We're the only ride. You don't ride with us, you don't ride. I don't think I'll get rid of any NDAs here, but I'm speaking with a company in Eastern Europe. That's what I'll say. That is in the Balkan part of Eastern Europe. That is amazing with what they're building. And I think it's been the democratization of computers and the ability to CAD design stuff, and then laser print with machines that are not taking entire buildings to fill. But these folks are, and I think we'll announce our agreement with them fairly soon. We're just as likely to be in Slovenia as we are in Pasadena these days, in terms of working with companies that are doing real things in space. And that's, to me, a very healthy sign of where we wanted this all to go when us elderly people began it back in the late 70s, early 80s. It's, let 1,000 flowers blossom kind of thing. I am rhapsodizing here. It's a great time to be doing what we're doing. And by that, I mean what everyone in the space field is working on. I feel I've never seen Leonard excited before.
I'm excited.
I know. You're pumped, man.
You got to remember, when you're space shifting, you got to go into first, second, third gear.
Right.
And we're there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's something going on here that is pretty much beyond the public. I mean, it really is a entrepreneurial heyday. But, as you said, there's a lot of roadkill.
Yeah.
A lot of roadkill on this space avenue outward.
Yep.
And a lot of them, but one of the things I'm seeing, I'm going to cut off here. One of the things that's going on with the space startups is, even if it fails, the people that were so hungry to make a difference move to other companies, and the incubator capability that's going on right now is pretty neat.
Yeah.
So
and you're looking at companies like, there they are again, SpaceX, that are spinning out employees right and left.
Yep.
With new companies, all kinds of. It's a great time. We have to stop.
Before we do,
yes.
Before we do, Charlie,
yeah.
If we could bring Andrea up, she really wants to share our page, and this is
our
another
chief
very
operating
important
officer.
team member here. Yeah, our chief
Rick knows
operating.
well.
Hi, Andrea.
Hey guys, thank you so much.
Alrighty.
I was having trouble actually, Mark, sharing the screen. That's what I put in the chat. So I'm sorry to disappoint, but my screen share is not working.
I see something here from you. Can I show you?
Oh, yes. This is Andrew.
Right. That's not the one you're talking about, though. How about this one?
No,
That's the same thing.
I would need to share my screen. Sorry about that misunderstanding, guys.
That's okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. No.
Well, can you tell them about the page, or going to the page, how to visit our page and get more information on the Mars?
Exactly. If you go check out the Celestis.com homepage, there is a banner for Mars 300. If anybody's interested in joining the mission, that'll take you right to the mission page.
Oh, where'd she go? Oh, we just lost her just when she was telling us. Andrea, go ahead and plug back in again so you can basically finish what you're telling. But nonetheless, before we get Andrea to log back in again to share that more information, basically, guys, all the information that you heard this evening, not only can you view it again, we are on Facebook and YouTube. You can pull this back up at any time. We're going to go ahead and thank our guests, Richard and Leonard, profusely for their participation. And Richard, I'm just jealous, dude. Your DNA is going to Mars, man, and we didn't get a heads up on that, but that was a great surprise. Good thing I had the applause meter ready for Charlie when you did tell him that. So congratulations once again for joining your son in that respect. I think the honorable thing that Charlie has done is just fantastic, but he's a fantastic guy nonetheless. So, Charlie, I guess before we log off, hopefully Andrea will pop back in. If not, basically the information is everything that we've discussed, like I mentioned before. It's on our www.celestis.com page. You guys can go there at any time. Even if you have questions, go ahead and ask that by visiting our.
Yeah.
We'll get back
Questions?
to you. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Questions, comments, ideas, harangues. we'll take them all. We truly love the people that care enough to interact with us. And again, I'll just say we've got a bunch of special stuff coming up, and we're particularly excited about our second deep space mission, but putting 300 souls in orbit in 3 months is what we're focused on right now. And the last thing is just to let people know that we are affiliated with 1,500 funeral homes around the country through service. And you can go in there and log on and learn about us at your local Dignity home. And maybe next time I'll be announcing a second very large provider that will offer our services. So we're trying to become ubiquitous. That's a good goal, I think, and never prosaic, I would say. So it's always a special mission. So we've got a little over time. It's because I had so much fun, and fun is a word that one does not often associate with memorial services and the passing of a loved one. And what I love more than anything is standing behind our family members who are watching the launch and knowing that they've all brought grief with them. And there's nothing that we can do that will eliminate their grief. But watching that moment from grief to exultation at liftoff is about as good as it gets. And at that point in their lives, they're having fun and they're enjoying the memory of their loved one or their own DNA flight. So we're a little bit different than the wear black and grieve side of the world. We respect that, absolutely, understand loss. But we try to give it that little extra celebration component. All right, that's a bit of time. Thank you guys. Really appreciate
Charlie?
You being with us. Yeah.
Question for you: when shall we expect another mission update for people who can?
Well, we try to do it, with the exception of like in the summertime and whatever. We try to do them the third Monday of every month. And when I say try, it's because sometimes something intervenes and we don't get there. But as we're getting close to Serenity, I would expect we'll be talking about here are our plans for hosting families and those kinds of things. So I would say let's pencil in February. Let me pull up a calendar. Third Monday in February, whatever that is. It is
whatever that third Monday is. Yeah.
the 16 of February. So that's when
Okay.
I think we'll be back.
All right, guys, and you'll get information. You'll get information a week prior to that. We'll announce that a week prior to when we're having our next mission mission update. I was going to say upbriefing and update at the same time. Richard, Leonard, it's been a pleasure having you here, giving us some very insightful information. Rich, I'm still jealous of you, but you know what the heck, I'll get over that one. And our great boss here, Charlie Chafer, and of course Andrea. You've seen her. If you've spoken to her on the phone or didn't know she exists, she exists. You know, guys know that's us. Very happy to have her. So without any further ado, I guess we can go ahead and end the night and see you guys in about 30 days. And we appreciate so much for you guys attending our mission briefing, and we shall see you again. This is Mark. I'll see you guys on the other side.
This is the launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial Spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed. 3, 2, 1, fire.